Howard Marks, co-founder of Oaktree Capital Management, one of the most respected risk thinkers in modern investing. He is not famous for chasing the hottest growth stocks. He is not famous for predicting every market move. He built his reputation by focusing on something simpler, but much harder: controlling downside risk. So today, we are applying a Howard Marks-style lens to the ASX, not to find the most exciting companies, not to find the fastest growers, but to ask a different question. Which ASX companies look strong enough, cheap enough, and durable enough to survive when the cycle turns?
Before we do though, quick disclaimer. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not a licensed advisor. This is purely educational. Do your own research. Talk to a professional if you need to. All right, let's go.
Howard Marks co-founded Oaktree Capital Management in 1995. Oaktree is best known for credit, distressed debt, and investing through difficult market cycles. That matters because Marks did not build his reputation by buying popular stocks at any price. He built it by asking, what can go wrong? How much could we lose? And can this investment survive a bad environment? His book, The Most Important Thing, and his Oaktree memos are widely followed by professional investors. And the core idea is simple. Risk control matters more than chasing the highest possible return. Because if you cannot survive the downside, the upside does not matter.
So what does Howard Marks actually look for? We built a 3-layer lens from his primary sources: The Most Important Thing, Mastering the Market Cycle, and his Oaktree memos. It has 3 non-negotiables. First, financial fortitude. We want companies with manageable debt, strong interest cover, and no obvious signs of balance sheet stress. In this screen, that means net debt to EBITDA below 2.5 times and interest cover above 5 times. Second, margin of safety. A good company can still be a bad investment if the price is too high. So we look for companies that are not priced for perfection. For this screen, that means a price-to-earnings ratio below 25 times, or EV to EBITDA below 18 times. Third, business durability. We want demand that does not disappear overnight. That could mean recurring revenue, contracted revenue, essential services, or repeat customer demand. The key point is this: all 3 tests need to pass. A strong business with the wrong price does not pass. A cheap company with a weak balance sheet does not pass. And a solid balance sheet in a fragile business does not pass either. All 3 must pass. Any single failure is a hard no. We started with the full ASX 200, around 200 companies. After applying the leverage filter, net debt to EBITDA below 2.5 times, we were down to approximately 120. After the valuation filter, price to earnings below 25 times, that dropped to around 35. And after applying the business durability filter, 60% recurring revenue, stable margins, 3 companies made the final shortlist. That is the point of a Howard Marks-style lens. It is not designed to give you a long list. It is designed to remove anything where the downside risk is too hard to control. The closest fit is Sonic Healthcare, ASX ticker SHL. Sonic is a global pathology and radiology business. In simple terms, it provides medical testing and diagnostic services. These are not luxury services. They are part of the healthcare system. Doctors, hospitals, and governments still need testing through different economic cycles. On our Marks-style lens, Sonic scores 14 out of 14. First, financial fortitude. Net debt to EBITDA is around 1.9 times, and interest cover is around 9.5 times. That passes our balance sheet test. Second, valuation. The price-to-earnings ratio is around 19 times, which is below the threshold we used for this screen. It is not obviously priced for perfection. Third, durability. Most of Sonic's revenue comes from laboratory services, which are essential and repeat in nature, so Sonic also passes the durability test. There are also some softer positives. The business is well established, the market is not treating it like a hype stock, and the post-COVID volume normalization has created a more contrarian setup. But there is one watch item. Leverage at 1.9 times is still above the more conservative level Marks might prefer. So for Sonic, the key thing to watch is debt and covenant headroom at each half-year result. Our second closest fit is GUD Holdings, ASX ticker GUD, 12 out of 14. GUD makes aftermarket automotive parts, brake pads, filters, cooling systems, the kind of components that cars need whether the economy is growing or contracting. Price to earnings of around 14 times, leverage declining, low analyst attention, which is exactly the kind of quiet opportunity Marks finds interesting. Now let us look at a company that does not fit, and this one is instructive. WiseTech Global, ASX ticker WTC. By many measures, a genuinely excellent business. Net cash position, over 80% of revenue from CargoWise subscriptions, sticky and recurring. Strong competitive moat in global logistics software. But here is where Marks draws the line. The price-to-earnings ratio on WiseTech has ranged between 60 and 103 times over recent years. That is not a margin of safety. That is priced for perfection, precisely what Marks says he never pays. Non-negotiable 2, hard fail. And with governance concerns raised in 2024 and near euphoric analyst consensus, WiseTech scores 8 out of 14. Great business, wrong price. Before we wrap, 3 things this lens cannot tell you. First, management culture is invisible in a spreadsheet. Marks places enormous weight on whether a management team will act with discipline under stress. A net debt ratio cannot tell you that. You need to read the annual reports, listen to the investor calls, and watch what they do when things get hard. Second, cycle timing requires judgment. This lens identifies companies that look like Marks-style opportunities. It does not tell you where we are in the cycle, whether now is the right moment to act. That requires a broader macro view that goes beyond what the numbers alone show. Third, disruption risk is not captured. A low price-to-earnings ratio and a high recurring revenue percentage can both collapse quickly if the underlying business model is disrupted. The lens does not screen for structural vulnerability. You still need to think hard about the competitive forces at work. This is a framework for narrowing the field, not a substitute for doing the full work. Howard Marks once wrote, "Risk is not the chance of loss, it is the size of loss you cannot recover from." That is the whole framework in one sentence. Not avoiding risk, understanding which risks you can survive. Survival first, returns follow. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, subscribe for more ASX analysis. I will see you in the next one.